We had a player have to step back for a session due to some family stuff. I was like a last minute thing, and I'm like, it's all right. Like, what we'll do is
do an interim episode.
Yeah, do an interim where the other two are gonna go buy some gear, get some upgrades. Like the Cybered Up Street Sam went and got cyberware upgrades and all of that.
Nice.
And a whole bunch of other stuff that happened in that little interstitial episode. And then we moved to the proper episode 3 Thursday night, and getting close to that episode 5 finale. And then afterwards, because I actually have a game planned to go into that slot after the little Shadowrun tutorial finishes, we're stepping into the grimdark future of the 41st millennium.
Oh.
Playing Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory.
Wrath and Glory. Is this the
that
revised
sounds
one? I don't know the difference,
Yes,
so I don't know if revised
yes,
is actually...
revised is much better. Ulysses Spieler just didn't put the effort into the game that it deserved. And so they sold it to Cubicle 7, and Cubicle 7 have done an amazing job revamping the game. So yeah, we play Cubicle 7, technically it's like 2nd edition.
Yeah.
Version 2.
If it wasn't for the fact that I am always... The days off that I have are for this game and for my own game, I would actually be participating more in Day 6, but I do what I can.
Well, if something happens, hey, life does continue on, so, maybe something shifts up at work, and you could do a schedule shift, or you get some sort of, you've been with them for a while, and so it gives you a little bit more clout. We'll be around. We're your friends.
Well, if you do ever end up wanting to join these, Coffee, they're 8 until midnight Central Time.
Right.
So
Central Time, though, I work at 11.
11. Yeah. Well, like I'm fine to have you leave an hour early if you do want to get some gaming in. I'm totally okay to help you get some gaming in before work.
It's okay. I have a lot of projects that I'm doing right now, and I'm already kind of swamped.
That's fair. That is fair enough.
I'm doing a lot.
But if you're ever getting ready to slow down and relax, we're here to deluge you with stuff to do. No rest.
That's valid. I already get no rest.
There ain't no rest for the wicked.
And I'm pretty wicked.
Oh, I guess that means I'm turning Dark Wolf evil then, because she's been doing a lot.
Did you see what happened to Casimir?
Oh, all right. So I guess this is actually in real life. Yeah. I'm slowly turning Dark Wolf into a dragon.
Yep.
But no, she's been very busy in helping me a lot, and I appreciate that. But you know what? I'm here. Tonight is the night I'm here for you. I am here to present you something fun and compelling. Maybe we'll laugh. Maybe we'll cry. Maybe you'll hit 0 HP, and we'll see what happens.
Maddie, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to kill me when I just became a cleric. Come on.
Well, then you got to be a better cleric.
You have healing spells.
Yeah.
You have healing spells. That's up to you.
Remember, I have a slap patch.
You do, yes. So just have Normal just run up and get up.
Like Crowhopper said, not foreboding at all.
Yeah, well, Crowhopper, even if it's off in the corner, it's still always on the table. And as a DM, I just have to deal with the consequences of.
This is why I'm a cleric now.
Things. Yeah, clerics are excellent insurance policies. Unfortunately, as Chris has found out, though, insurance companies can sometimes be a little slow on the payoff, though. So hopefully you'll be on the ball. All right. Last session, I'm going to abbreviate it by saying you were summarizing where you want to go, how you want to do it, and you were identifying each other's hair.
Yes, we were.
I was just talking about that earlier. Mordecai is 1/100th elf.
Yes.
And 99% unknown species.
It has even baffled the Identify magic. It is yet another chance for you to prove who you are. I don't. Is this for Mordecai? With this knowledge, is this freeing? Because before you knew what you were, but you didn't like being undead. But you were solid in being undead. Now you're absolutely alive, but How do you feel about that?
He feels. It feels still weird still. It feels weird getting used to being alive again. But at the same time, he can enjoy the things that he enjoyed about life again. And one doesn't realize what it is that they miss until they don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And that just as an experience for him has been a journey. And so having not had sleep for months, having not had food for months, having not just enjoyed life for months, he's feeling pretty good. He's feeling better about things now and feels like he's on the right track. Even though he doesn't know what species he is anymore, it still feels nice.
Then all the more room for you to forge ahead as a storyteller yourself, as a, yeah, mechanically you're a cleric, but we could never take the bard out of you here. It's not like you forgot how to play an instrument, or you forgot all the fairy tales you read as a kid, and like, I aspire to this.
He's still very much a performer, and he's still very much a spice of life kind of person, and is likely just taking it all in while he still has it, because he doesn't know if it's going to be something that is going to be taken away from him. So he's enjoying it while he can.
To jump from that piece of conversation now into directly addressing Norlai, because Norlai, we gave you a vignette, like a little side interaction last week, and so as you're here with us, you're on this approach. The plans are being sent out, but now that you like Mordecai are alive and you're corporeal again, you're not just following them around in kind of a dreamy spirit mode, watching them handle your bones in weird ways. Can you give me a bit of a glimpse into what is Norlai thinking or feeling, or does she have a determination for something or a particular direction? What's going on?
Well, she wants to. Well, first off, it's been 2 years. She didn't realize it was 2 years, so she kind of wants to figure out what all has actually happened.
Okay.
And probably try to find her find the trail that her brother was on, because it's been 2 years. She's so far behind now.
Yep.
And then probably just see probably what's happening in Mask of Horns, because last time they were there in the tower, and I think we just blew that up.
Yeah, going to Mask of Horns is on Mordecai's itinerary too. It's not necessary, but it would be nice.
Okay.
So maybe once they've dealt with the flesh tree.
And Norlai, did you have any particular reaction or anything that you wanted to add to your little personal scene as it was presented? As your DM, I kind of had to solo it, and I thought I presented you in a way that was, believable or acceptable here, but I want you to give any personal polish on it, since the others were able to, interact and have their own kind of exploration of themselves or their powers or their goals or whatever.
Well, concerning the vignette, she was just kind of being sneaky and spying. She wouldn't do too much else because she was being sneaky and spying. She doesn't want to get caught doing that.
Okay.
So I don't think there was too much to add there.
All right.
Do you have any thought about what she heard, though?
She didn't know Silther that well, so probably not anything in particular. She probably would have just thought this is how she acts, and went on.
Very well. Then at some point in time, a warm batch of cookies will be delivered to your room by DJ.
Okay.
Made with very rich Ucton cocoa at that. It's harder and harder to get that, but they make a very nice cocoa down there, and as you can imagine, the supply lines are a little difficult to reestablish right now. Taking a look at the map, a lot of things are going on there. But anyway, let's refocus back here. You are approaching Mesomasca, and how do you want to do this? Because you are going to green shield. Remember, if we're here, you can just kind of go bloop bloop, or you could just kind of zoom, do a not so quick flyover. You could take a southerly route. You could just kind of go up and around, like really far out, a wide arc, and then kind of go here, and then I don't know, kind of splash down and swim, or take a boat or something to shore. There you have options, and I believe you're talking about just doing a jump, just as high as the Repentless can go, and just boop right over the edge and fall into it.
And that's got Mordecai's stomach in actual knots.
Do it. I will carry you if you would like, but we're gonna do it.
You're not gonna push me, are you, Professor?
No, I said I would carry you.
Uh-huh.
I meant what I said. If I was going to push you, I would just say that I would push you.
I don't know, Mordecai. The last guy who carried you turned evil.
What?
Look, Casimir was full of mutating demon goop at the time.
Yeah, but you were also full of mutating demon goop before.
Yes, but not when
anymore.
Casimir was carrying. Also, how would you know that?
Oh, I know. I was with you guys like the entire time. I know pretty much everything you guys do. Some of it was gross.
I mean,
right.
You're not supposed to watch the professor when he goes behind the bushes.
Probably actually would have been Leasley the professor.
I have concerns for my privacy I never thought I would ever have.
Because it was any of you that had her bones.
It was mostly Bright and Mordecai.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly Bright and Mordecai.
You should be ashamed.
But no, when Casimir had kind of fully mutated, I had changed forms, but I wasn't mutated anymore. All of those mutations had fallen off.
Assuming the mutations was a problem.
They were a problem.
Yeah, but you were assuming that's the only problem.
I didn't mutate all that much.
It was kind of fun being a spectator.
It was rather disturbing. Let's just put it that way. It
was
looked
weird.
It's not. Mordecai, we were in literal hell. If you're gonna find that disturbing, there is a lot more, much more disturbing things down there than
I'm
simply
sure.
that.
And I wasn't exactly thinking about them at the time. going back, it's nightmare fuel. Hindsight is 2020, my friend.
Yes, unless you need contacts, that is 2030.
While you're discussing this, there is a almost like a wailing sound, but it's not from an artificial horn or a klaxon. It is almost just like a wail sound that is echoing throughout the Repentless. Boo, boo, boo. And as you're having this conversation, DJ busts in the door. There's some enemies spotted ahead. Looks like Shadowheart ships. We're going to have to really move or do something to get them off of our tail.
Yeah. I think I would be able to do that.
Are we going to? Are we over Green Shield? Are we over Mesomasca? Where are we?
You are where you see yourself. Well, probably one grid area closer. So you're not over Green Shield or even necessarily over the shore of Mesomasca yet. But because you're so close on this approach, even if you start like, whether you're just starting to bear north now or whatnot, there are ships that are patrolling the outskirts of Mesomasca. And it seems like there are some that are distant. You are not engaged in combat yet, but if it's going to happen, well, he's looking for input. Charge in, try and avoid them, go into battle, shake them off. Do you have things that you can do to throw off some ships if you're in pursuit, or at least defend the Repentless? What are you doing?
Let me think about
I mean, Mordecai's the one that built this ship. He should be the one that knows all the tricks.
It's grown quite a bit since Mordecai was in control of it.
It's not the same anymore. Yeah. I don't exactly know what it could do anymore.
Would the Repentless be considered a creature?
Maybe. I'm not necessarily against the idea, depending on what you'd like to do.
Would invisibility maybe work on it?
Oh, magic. It's kind of got that sure. Oh, actually, no. If Norali's casting it.
Norali's casting it.
Yeah, if Norali's casting it, that might actually work. Because magic normally doesn't work on the Repentless.
How would this end up? Because normally the spell doesn't necessarily have a size limit, does it? It just says a creature?
No. Just a creature.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think the range is touch.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm touching the ship. The creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible.
Technically, the Repentless is carrying us.
It's carrying us in the mansion.
I am willing to entertain this idea. It will come at a cost. Because this is... I love the spirit of it, but to spend one spell slot, even what, like... Well, invisibility is like a second level spell or something, right?
I could have cast up to 8.
You could.
Yeah.
Although, wait, this is just regular invisibility, though, right? Not greater?
Yes.
Not great, so yeah, means no spells or attacks can come from it,
which means that
or
if
it'll
the
drop.
Repentless attacks, it drops it.
And how long does it last?
An hour.
An
Or
hour.
until I lose
Concentration up to an
concentration.
hour.
Okay. If you want to upcast it to your maximum level, and you are willing to accept a thematic price for it, which is currently unknown because this is an experiment. Yes, Noralai, I will allow you to be a cloaking device for the Repentless. But you also got to do something, like, you got to present it in a cool way, too. Like,
Okay.
I'm not just going to let you poke it with a finger and be like, haha!
I was gonna say, if you also want me to spend some sorcery points on that, I'm fine.
Well, do you have any, what's your meta magic?
Careful, distant, and quickened.
Careful, distant, or quickened. Maybe we'll throw a distant on there just to sort of thematically expand the reach of your invisibility. As well, it's a creature. It's also like, this is a big thing, and we're expanding the rules here. But sure, a small price to pay. It's a high level spell slot, but it's a spell slot, and some sorcery points here. So you do this. What are you? Are you going to the? Are you going to the bow of the ship, kind of like how we see, Selter here? But like, do you want to take some sort of a stance, or are you flying around and tapping stuff, like to spread the invisibility, or?
I'm first gonna let Salter know that this is the plan, because I don't want her attacking the ships while we're invisible.
Okay.
Hey, Salter, I'm gonna do something. Just promise not to attack the ships, or it won't work.
Selter's on not ungood terms with you, so.
I'm on better terms with Norland than the rest of us. So.
Yeah, I said not ungood. The professor might almost be there. Okay.
I'm gonna kick my heels together to activate my flying boots.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna go around the ship, just kind of like passing with one hand, just dragging along, and just slowly turning everything invisible. And at the very end, I'll jump in, so I turn invisible with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna like go around. I'll end on the mouth and just land on the tongue. Salter, don't swallow me, please.
Okay, sure. So you're going around doing this. You're sort of spreading the magic, which does seem to hold, within the flesh of the creature here, and the spell goes off. And when it does, I need you to roll a D100, please.
Wild magic!
I'm gonna turn us all into unicorns, watch.
Okay, rolled an 86. Interesting. You cast Mirror Image.
Oh no.
I turned us invisible and made a second repent.
Yeah. All right. So what happens is, yeah.
We diverge.
Love it.
A second form of the Repentless peels off of the first. As you all are covered by invisibility. And this means, though, you can't see each other. Like, you hold your hand in front of yourself. You can't even see your own hand. But all of you are invisible. Although, Bright, I don't think this is a problem for you. Because you're looking through your invisible crystal eye and you can see things.
Yeah, I can do true sight, but I'm not going to tell anyone else about it. Because it's fun watching them all bump into each other.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, please don't fall over the railing.
Oh no, I don't want to.
All right, Mordecai just sitting down cross-legged and kind of. So Noralai's on the tip of the tongue. Bright is looking around but not telling anyone, so Bright is in the best position here. Selter is the ship, so it's not like necessarily she's compromised. DJ's probably having to fumble around, so hopefully he's not in the kitchen with the dishes, because otherwise we have a bull in the china shop here. Professor, what are you doing when you and the rest of the ship are invisible?
Well, now because of the fact that the ship is invisible, there is no LOS permanence between us and the land. So I'm going to be looking to see where a good insertion point might be, because if we're getting chased down, we're not going to be able to do anything. Like, we're not going to be able to land or anything like that, because that's going to give too much away.
Yeah, now we have to jump.
We have to jump.
And we can't even summon the owls because Norlai has to keep her concentration.
Yep. We can't summon the owls. We have to jump.
I mean...
That was also part of something that I was thinking about.
I mean, I could drop you invisibility once we're off the ship.
Yeah, but then Salty gets immediately swarmed. That's what happens, because they detect the Repentless in Mesomascan airspace, and she immediately gets swarmed, and that's bad for our relationship with Salta and bad for Salta. It also means that they might be afraid that they might have dropped something, so it means that we start getting hunted as well by ground troops, which we don't want.
Keeping the ship as invisible as long as possible is the best idea. As much as I hate the idea of falling out of the ship.
If we jump, I can make sure we don't hit the ground.
Yeah, I think we have enough fly spells for everyone.
I also have feather fall.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, I fly anyway, so. She says, hovering in her boots that no one can see.
So the ship itself groans, both with a wooden and metallic, but also almost like a physical, and it feels like it picks up a bit of speed. Now, it's not like, your cheeks are flapping in the wind or anything. You're not going at a tremendous, you're not going to like 100 miles an hour sort of a thing. But it is moving more quickly. And the ships on the distance are changing direction to go towards this Repentless 2 or whatever. Mirror Repentless, giving you all a more direct shot. Now, with this opportunity, I presume with as quickly as you can fly over the island, you want Selter to just to try and take you right over Green Shield. That's the plan now.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe like a mile outside of town, so
okay.
that we can approach without
landing in the city.
Yeah.
Now, the groan does remind you all that you are invisible, but you're not inaudible. Just as a heads up.
Yes.
So you're on this course.
I mean, we're not yelling. Considering we're in the air or we're traveling at speed, it's gonna be a real hard sell if someone actually hears us just conversing.
Yeah, well, and it won't be... I mean, we won't be invisible once we jump off the ship anyway.
Yeah. Because then we will no longer be carried by the Repentless, and the Repentless will be the only thing invisible.
Yes. Alright, so Norlai, as you're maintaining concentration, you are having to pour your energy, yourself, into this spell. As such, in order to help it continue to affix to this aberrant flesh that is incorporated, I'm going to need you to roll another percentile, because this your body is just this fluctuating source of chaos magic still, despite you gaining some more thundery, stormy powers.
71.
71. You gain resistance to all damage for the next minute.
How fun.
So a bird doesn't see the repentless and smacks into it, and it just bounces off. I mean, it's not alive anymore, but it didn't dent a tooth, so there we go. Okay. As you are now crossing the beach on the eastern shore, and you're beginning to cross over the land. I need another wild magic surge as you're maintaining this over the course of an hour. Effectively, every 6 minutes, an effect is going to go off here. So we had our initial mirror image. We had our resistance, and now we're going to have what happen? 99. You regain all expended sorcery points.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so this is not too terrible so far. So Norlai, you actually feel, maybe by flexing your powers, you're feeling more emboldened and strong. Like you're energized, the wind is whipping through your hair, maybe whistling around your horns. And you're feeling real good right now.
Fly.
Some sparks are flying off here. All right. Clearly, nothing can go wrong as you make another wild magic surge as you're continuing to cross over as fast as the repentless can take you. 10. You cast magic missile as a 5th level spell. I gotta see something here.
Targeted on what?
You get to decide targets.
So
it just shoots a whole bunch of.
Yeah. So we've crossed the beach on our way over, and I mean you'll get to choose. You can choose a target, Norlai. However, as this magic is suffusing the entirety of the ship, as you are passing over... Actually, do I have... Let me see if I just have plain old Mesomasca here. That might be a little...
It's a little outdated, but
a little, yeah. That's But all right, so you were approaching. You're going to Green Shield.
Pretty close to going over the capital.
Yeah. So about here, actually, probably a little bit closer there. The sky fills up, just a fusillade of magic missiles. Fusillade. Of magic missiles just erupt from the fleshy surfaces of the repentless, and just it's almost a fireworks show. Norlai, do you have magic missile normally?
No.
Okay, what do your magic missiles look like then? Because magic missiles are usually a manifestation of the caster.
yes.
Tiny lightning bolts.
I was gonna say they probably look like either lightning bolts or like sparkles. They don't look deadly, but they're gonna pack a punch.
Okay.
For sparkles.
So almost, I guess we can kind of combine them to almost look like a little like shooting star show.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Oh, something to ask you all. Is this a morning raid, a nighttime raid? Your encounter with the shadow, it's a constant patrol, so that's going to be the same. But for other things, especially for descriptions like this, is the night sky being filled up by magic missile, like sparkly shooting stars, or is it the middle of the day? What was your plan for your descent?
I
Yeah, I think it was just whenever we would get there. I don't think we'd picked a particular time.
Let's,
But we wouldn't.
let's
We wouldn't.
be so pretty.
I don't think we were aiming to do this under like cover of darkness or anything. I think it was just like go for a visit and see what's going on and see about the tree. So probably during the day.
Yeah, daytime.
Okay. Okay, sure. So, yeah, even in the middle of the day, I mean, probably not as noticeable, but there are it is kind of cold and cloudy. It's not a super clear day, but just the whole ship just erupts with magic missiles, and a couple birds are knocked and are spiraling down and into the lake below. Okay. You are now
Or birds.
past the lake, approaching the mountains, and I need another D100 roll. A 6. A Modron chosen and controlled by the DM appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you, then disappears.
So an invisible robot shows up, and none of us notice it.
Yeah, I'm not especially keen on introducing Mechanicus or other planes that we haven't already touched upon. So
Well, there could still be a Modron.
Yeah, this could be.
One of Mordecai's inventions comes to life, and none of us notice because it's invisible.
Or it's invisible, so Bright's the only one who can see it. So she could just tell you all about it, and no one would believe her.
Like, really, Bright? Really? Making things up right now?
How can
No, I saw it.
Yeah, so I'm going to... A creature... Yeah, a creature of artifice. Though also that has sinew and muscle. Though it has one eye. Although it looks like a normal eye, not like a big eye. Just right in the center, like a person's eye that was plucked and plopped right in the middle. But a creature of flesh and muscle that you can't see manifests beside you, Norlai, and it just stares at you the whole time until it doesn't anymore.
I look around, not able to see anyone, but have a feeling that someone's watching.
Yeah, there's probably a creepy, a creepy thing happening. Whatever it does, it doesn't seem to be affecting you. So as far as you're concerned, you're still on the prow of the Titanic with the wind whipping through your hair, and you're fully in control of your faculties. Okay. So now we're crossing over the mountains, and we are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be our 5th roll of the 6 I'm going to ask for. 47. A unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet of you.
I knew I was gonna roll unicorn.
It's also invisible.
It's awesome. The one thing I don't want to be invisible.
And it also still can't. The unicorns count as celestials.
Echoing all through the mountains as you're passing over. Because not only are the engines making that whining sound that does reverberate off the mountains and over the winds that are carried. All of you are... Well, yeah, you could just sit down effectively, but there's a great rumble. The entire ship begins to shudder under your feet. And there's creaks and groans and bangs of metal and such. Bright, you're the only one who can see this, but the Repentless turns into something like a narwhal.
Which are the best kind of sea creatures?
As the just the prow twists into like a giant spear, like whatever 20 30 feet long, and the sails almost look like a raggedy mane, though I mean it's still flying, so it has some more aquatic grotesque features all the same. But yeah, the Repentless is kind of this, except it's now more of a narwhal. This is actually working out pretty well. I don't know what you're doing, Dark Wolf, but keep doing it, because this is let's go back here. Now you are on the other side of the mountains, and you're just crossing over the lake, and then of course we'll end it. You wanted to be a mile outside of town.
Isn't Greenfield right here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Lake Eye. Yep. So you're crossing the mountains, and you're going to be dropped off a little bit outside of town here. Pardon. Go ahead and make me one more wild magic surge as you're trying to maintain this invisibility. A 93. Your size increases by 1 size category for the next minute. Oh.
Big Norlai. Honking
Wow.
Norlai.
Is it Big Norlai or is it Big Repentless?
I think it should be Big Repentless.
Yeah. So the Repentless goes into
colossal.
Yeah, like it is now like the size of one of these tankers that you've seen, one of these Shadowheart tankers. We're talking probably longer. But we're talking it's probably more like 400 feet in length. Like just a behemoth of a creature.
And only Brett can see this.
No, I mean all the furniture and everything has to be huge too, right?
Well, yeah, like everything. Yeah, we're holding down shift and dragging the corner, so we keep our proportion. Although technically, I don't know. Really, you all are carried by it, so I guess nothing necessarily changes except maybe you look like you're higher up for a little bit. But all of you probably feel this like a stretching, like a whoa. Something that happens here is you all are also growing in size. So you're proportional, but everything is bigger. Yeah, so the invisibility is going to end before this effect does. And so you are now crossing over the forest, and Norlai, I mean, this is your chance to shout out or signal that invisibility's dropping. Because you can feel your magic starting to wane.
Guys, we're gonna be sightful soon, and by that I mean we'll be seen.
Then I suppose now's the time we go.
We gotta go now.
The ship, the skin of the ship ripples and shimmers and goes back to its grotesque fusion of flesh and metal and wood. And it is also, for the next less than 1 minute, in the skies above Greenshield, a colossal anomaly. As it's hanging, just bloated and heavy, in the sky.
Everybody jump.
It's like those scenes from Star Wars where they come out of Lightspeed or Warp Speed or whatever, and just this huge behemoth is in front of you.
So
Mordecai's like frozen in fear, though.
Yeah.
He's like,
we all have to hold hands when we jump. That way, if we have to cast a fly, we can do that while touching each other.
yeah, we don't get separated.
Yeah.
All right, y'all holding hands then?
Yeah, it'll be like a group skydive, except without the parachutes.
Oh.
In many other circumstances, that's pretty bad, but okay. All right. You all hold hands. Yeah, what, you get to the railing and you want to just kind of go over like a scuba diver kind of a thing? Or if you want, you can just run forward and...
All right, who's pushing Mordecai?
I think the professor volunteered to do that.
I don't know, who has the strength score for push, pull, drag, or lift?
Nah, I mean strength 8.
We lost our strength boy.
I could cast a big beast smishing hand.
Just boink.
Oh wait, if the invisibility ended, I could just summon the owls.
No, we have to jump. It's
You gotta
fun
jump.
That way.
That was the plan.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to summon owls, I won't stop you from summoning owls. All right, well, I don't know. Who's getting Mordecai over the railing? Somehow.
Yeah. Kind of frozen.
Cypher's gonna be slowly like dragging Mordecai to the edge.
Sure. You drag him by his tail. Still has one.
He does.
Unless ASMR, like, because you're not a tiefling, like, do they lose their tails like lizards when they're scared? So it kind of just...
No, well... thematically, he still looks like a tiefling.
The Cypher's dragging you to the edge. Like, it's fine, I've got you.
I don't trust you.
Come on, Mordecai.
Well, look, it's either you jump or you stay here and get shot out of the sky by the Shadowheart. Your choice.
Okay.
All right, so being drug along,
He's not resisting terribly hard.
Norla, you probably know what it's like to be drugged by your tail. And woo, all of you take the plunge.
Yep. And
you're falling, the trees are coming up.
And as soon as I jump out with Mordecai in tow, I am going to begin chanting in Infernal. Because yeah, Oiho did leave a little bit of an effect. And I am going to cast a lower planes version of Cypher's Otherworldly Guise. Tasha, who's Tasha? I don't know who Tasha is. This is my spell.
All right, lower planes. You're immune to, pardon me, fire and poison damage.
Yep, I'm also immune to the poison condition. I get a flying speed of 40 feet and a +2 bonus to AC.
Ooh, all right.
The other things don't matter.
Oh yeah, because you're already magical and you're attacking. Do you already attack twice? Yeah, you're a blade lock, so you can
Yeah,
do that.
I've got the invocation to do that. But no, Mordecai, you would hear Cypher chanting in Infernal, and then you would see the geometry, the purple geometry of the body kind of rearrange and turn into this hellfiery mixture of orange and black, before you see a massive spectral pair of black bat-like wings, very similar to yours in color, but markedly different in shape, to make a controlled descent.
Flap, flap, flap.
And it's a bonus action.
That's pretty good.
I am impressed, Professor.
See, I told you could trust me.
I don't always trust you. Especially when it comes to gravity magic.
Well, this isn't gravity magic now, is it?
Norlai, are you just falling like feet first in a graceful like you just jumped or something?
I'm just pretty much just standing and slowly hovering, but I'm just like in front of Mordecai and the professor.
Sure, okay.
Don't worry, he drops you out.
Mordecai's in the professor's arms here. They're having this conversation. You're just sort of like going down the elevator with them, like yeah. How's Bright descending?
Yeah, so I'm keeping a fly spelling reserve.
Okay.
So First thing I'm going to do is all spread out so that I am using my dress almost like a wingsuit.
yeah.
First, it's not a very good wingsuit. Because it's not a wingsuit, it's a dress.
Sorry, your floops are kind of flipping around too.
Yeah, they're like streamers to slow the descent and maintain control. Did you ever build model rockets that had the streamers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
the
that.
Parachute, yeah. Rocket Day was a fun day in school.
Yeah, so I'm going to fall all the way down to the ground, except not quite all the way to the ground. And then right before I get to the ground, I'm going to release the fly spell. So it's just like a cartoon where it just falls and falls, and then right at the very end just stops.
Okay.
And then I'll look at everybody and be like, "Major luck."
How Mordecai, are you gonna be okay watching Bright almost squish herself against the ground until that last second?
I was very, very scared for her. But she's a good big girl, even though she's small.
Well, so about that, it's not going to take you that long to fall from at terminal velocity from the ship. When you all land, you are all larger. Like, I don't know, maybe the trees somehow stunted, but and even Bright, like everything's scaled at the same size, so it's not exactly like it was anything witnessable. You all felt I don't know, you've casted Ambigulate before. Have you cast it on yourself at all? Oh, you shrunk yourself.
Yeah, I've debigulated myself.
You've debigulated yourself. Have you embigulated?
I think I've only embiggened myself. I've embiggened myself to pass for human. I've done that a couple of times.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So you got that feeling that you've been embiggened, although nothing showed up in your vision or even other senses because it all scaled. But now, whether or not you want to tell them because you're a little trickster, I'm going to leave that up to you. But for all of you that land, you're twice this. I mean, so you're all like 12 feet tall. The trees. It's not that you're topping the trees, but you don't remember them being so short.
No, I remember them being significantly bigger.
I mean, it's probably just the botany in this region. You know, some trees aren't that tall. Maybe they're like shrubs.
Maybe. Did we land in the right place?
It's not as frosty, but remember, it is fall, and there have been a lot of wild weather patterns. So there is still some snow around, and there's frost that's clinging to the forest. Because it is cold this time of year, and it would have been able to snow. Yes. So it's not exactly like it, but this is close.
Yeah, the thing about falling is it's hard to get lost while you're falling. You pretty much just go down. So we must have landed in the right place, assuming we started in the right place.
Filter didn't say anything about being off course or anything. I think we're in the right place.
Well, the spell was ending, so maybe we weren't quite where we needed to be yet.
So are we actually going to town, or are we just going to the tree?
Well, it'd be good if we checked in the town first. And maybe we can inquire what happened to the flower field, or to the, Stillwaters. And, or to the flower fields, if anyone cares. And, you know, get caught up on the past couple of years.
That might be a good idea.
And we need to figure out what we're going to do about the tree. Because now that we know that it can put the whammy on everyone except the professor, and only Norley can really hurt it, we have to find a way that Mordecai and I can help. I mean, if I stand back far enough, I could cast spells into the zone. But it's hard to know exactly where that zone starts and stops.
Right.
Yes.
And my thought is that I can possibly help us resist the effects.
You mean with your music like before?
Maybe a little bit more than that, actually.
Oh, that'd be good.
Where it might have a hard time actually getting through to us.
That's good.
It's pretty powerful, and from what I can gather, Celine's book is going to act as a focus.
Well, that's good. I'm still not sure how I can help. It's kind of ironic that there's not much I can do, especially now that Noralai's selfishly keeping all of her bones inside of her body.
I mean, we shouldn't be using them in the first place. That's kind of rude and gross and disrespectful.
Well, maybe Green Shield has something. Maybe there's something that's developed as far as, wild magic implements or something.
Yeah, maybe the people there have learned something.
Something to do with the flowers.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, all I would.
Or oils or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Those are all good ideas. We should find that out.
I'm gonna get a new Herbert.
If you can find one. I tried to get us a new Herbert, but the place that was going to do that, well, I mean, Mask of Horns, maybe it's still there. But it's been 2 years, so he might not still have the Herbert. He might have decided I wasn't coming back for it and sold it. We'll see.
Maybe.
Also, it might not have been named Herbert.
The Green Shield, then.
Okay. Do any of you, are any of you good at survival, or did any of you take the you always know which direction you're in?
No.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you had a bird's eye view. You knew where the sun was generally.
I had city secrets, but that was not supports.
Yeah. Okay, so you begin wandering through the woods. At not too many steps later, all of you feel like you're falling for a second, and then all the trees look taller. But yeah, there you go.
Did the trees get bigger?
It's weird now, so I think we're just gonna have to accept that everything's weird.
I mean, it could just be the botany in this area. Sometimes trees can grow really fast. Maybe they're like bamboo.
That's candid.
Or you're playing Don't Starve.
They just change size instantly.
Which I'd actually be really concerned for you all if we're playing Don't Starve now.
The concern is real.
All right. So you walk in the direction that you believe Green Shield's in. What are your all passive perceptions now? My default was Mordecai. I think he's still pretty observant. Just
No,
not as.
I am. My perception is ass.
Oh,
now.
you're now looking inward.
Yes. My passive
That's what we call
perception
passive
is 11.
insight. I am passive perception 17.
17,
11.
11.
I'm sure mine isn't that good.
It was 27 before, but now it's not.
Norlai, what did you say
Yeah.
yours was?
11.
11, 17,
vampire
11,
eye.
11, and bright.
It's just copying everything from me. First my look, now my perception.
I'm actually not sure because I think my character sheet is wrong.
Oh.
I think it's probably 15, but it might be 17. We'll have to check in on that.
Okay.
My vampire eyes have gone human.
Too bad your 1% output wasn't your eyes.
Yeah, the 1% elf wasn't the perceptive bit.
Yeah. So out of character,
Mhm.
I'm not sure that that I properly adjusted my wisdom because I had the blessing, and now I don't have the blessing, and that was plus 2 my wisdom. So I'll have to double check and make sure that that's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought your wisdom baseline was a 10.
Yeah, it was. So I think that would put my passive perception at 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
We'll have to
15,
fix
yes.
that.
Yeah.
If you do you have proficiency in perception?
I do.
Yep, then
Yeah,
15.
it's 15. Bright became more observant over time, and Mordecai less so. Mordecai does not have his heightened senses anymore.
But I have the biggest eyeballs now.
A little
Look at
residual
me.
effect.
Look at me, Mordecai. I'm the captain now.
Not as big as they used to be. Excuse me. Not as big as they used to be.
Yeah, sorry,
I realized-
Professor.
I
Bright
realized
seemed
that
bigger.
joke was in character.
Fluff is in fluff mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to tell where I stop and the character begins.
All right, so you were traipsing through there's a lot of fall leaves that are crispity, crunchity underneath your feet because they're frosted. You know, a couple snowflakes hanging in the air. It is rather cold, just an ambient cold, but the trees are baffling a lot of the wind. It's just kind of a static cold here. No obvious signs, like you're not seeing campfires or any sort of deep tracks of wagons or you know, steaming piles of fresh manure from any of the forest wildlife or from horses or any other beasts of burden that have passed through. So walk.
Yes, walk.
And
Well, it looks like we're heading to Greenfield.
Yep, that's the plan. And I'm a native. I would know, generally speaking, and especially since I've traveled the island a lot, where we're going, right?
yeah, like I'm not saying you're gonna get hopelessly lost. Just you gotta acquaint yourself. You know, you're checking you're
I'm
checking the
orienting
sun. You're
myself,
like, okay,
yeah.
it should be over here. It's it's not as efficient as it could be, but
Yeah.
you're also not necessarily going to just be lost in the woods forever because, you had the vision, or you had the bird's eye view. You are from the area generally.
Yeah.
Yep. So you are walking around. Anything that you all are talking about with each other, or are you just quietly walking and just proceeding apace?
Well, kind of just getting to know the area again. Is there anything that seems different about this forest since we were here last?
Besides the unseasonable frostiness, no. Nothing is... yes, so... you don't see, or you don't, or maybe not so much see, but smell. Boy, yeah, so something is different. There might be a campfire or something through the trees ahead of you. You see maybe some sort of like a wisp of smoke or something, like a dark smoke like rise up. But then it stops. It's like we're saying this is like 150 feet away. Like it's not close to you, but for a second maybe the tree was on fire or there was a campfire you didn't notice until then. But the air is really like cold and heavy, but you're not smelling any sort of wood smoke or coal or anything along those lines.
About how far away?
About 150 feet away.
Should probably go and investigate.
Yeah, but keep your guard up.
Well, obviously.
Gotta be sneaky like.
It's a little harder for me these days. Think as I clink.
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
I feel
Well,
safer with it, honestly.
Okay. I think I'm probably the least clanky. I don't know, Norla, you don't clank either. Which of us clanks less? Okay.
Check my. I have a +8 now.
Okay. Mine is mine is slightly. I guess I'm slightly. No, we're the same amount of clanky. I also have +8. So Norla and Bright,
I can hover though, so I don't have to touch the ground.
Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Just sort of Magneto float over there.
If you want, go ahead.
I'm a sneaky.
Okay.
I'm using my winged boots so I don't crunch on the ground.
Yeah, how am I gonna sneak up? That's a good question.
I'm just gonna stay in the back.
I'm just gonna wait for Norla to come back. She's the one doing the not clanking.
Professor, do you want to go up too, or do you want to stay behind?
No, I think I would stay behind. You got the Starlight.
Okay.
Oh, actually, before she leaves, I am actually gonna cast a Death Ward on her.
So, how does that feel, Norlai? Like, this spell manifests, like, on or within your body to help seal away death. Or, Mordecai, if you have a clue as to what happens as this magic, like, suffuses Norlai.
He reaches for his holy symbol and mutters a prayer under his breath in a language you don't understand. And then just touches you on the shoulder, and it's like you're shielded.
It might feel similar to mage armor, or probably more secure.
Yeah. That should you fall unconscious, you'll bounce back because death is not at the door for you there.
Alright. Well, Norlai, emboldened, if not a little squigged out, you're gonna float forward towards where that little, like, that wisp of smoke was coming from the trees.
Be very careful.
The feathers make me aerodynamic.
Alright. You start floating over that way. Go ahead and make a perception check, Norlai.
Oh. That's booty.
Alright.
I'm
So
distracted by snowflakes.
oh, shiny. As you are, you're heading towards the tree that had the wisp of smoke. You're looking around. Maybe you got a little distracted. Like, oh, there may well be a squirrel, and you could say, "Oh, squirrel." Some birds cawing like what we hear in the background music. If you have that on, and as you're passing by a tree close to you, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
$20.
Okay. As you're going around, the cold, crisp air suddenly, as you're by a particular tree, just it smells awful. Like it smells like death and cat pee together, like just entwined in an unholy duo, and you nearly throw up from the stench. Now, mechanically, you don't. However, there is a stench about. It is still stinky mechanically. However, I'm not going to get to afflict this on you, since you're making peace with this smell. But yeah, there's a really super stinky tree that you're just passing by. It catches your attention, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh.
Though we'll see what happens.
Cleric initiative.
No.
It's strategic healing. It's where did my pen?
We're all clerics today.
Oh, apparently so. Well, all right. I'm definitely gonna go first. So yeah, this is me, and then I just go down the list. It's nice and convenient. Norelai, Bright, Mordecai, and the professor, who apparently is studying something. Something caught his attention, or he's lost in strategy, or he's still trying to solve that one formula.
Of the snowflake.
Oh yeah, so studying the angles.
Yeah, the geometry of the snowflake. Chaos theories and fractals. It's beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah, instead of the spirals, he actually has like crazy fractals in his eyes.
That's his whole warlock theme, geometry.
Yep.
All right. Well, what I am going to do is, Norelai, there is a hiss, and in a dark blur, something in the shadow of the tree moves, almost blinks out of existence, and as far as you know, perhaps until something else happens, it's no longer there. It just seems to disappear. So now we go to you, Norelai. You're next in initiative. There was a hiss. It's something moved in the shadow of the tree, and it disappeared. Oh,
Okay.
It's not stinky by the tree anymore, by the way. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not like... It's not
lingering
bad.
anymore?
Yeah, it's not lingering. It's just sort of like the last little wisp that came off of this
That's
thing.
mage armor.
Okay. Roll a percentile, please.
Oh, yep.
43. As you cast your mage armor, for the next minute, you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm gonna teleport 20 feet straight up.
Sure. You're now among the what needles and leaves remain here in this frosty fall. You're among the branches. Probably a little scraped up, but eh.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. So you're back 150 feet. Norelai just makes like a little bit of a, and then, boom, just disappears. And there's like some ice crystals coming down from the canopy. What do the rest of you want to do? We have an initiative, but honestly, it's like, what do you want? You go. The plural you.
In the ice, sorry, are the icicles looking like they're going to endanger Norelai or what?
No, it was just some frost and a little bit of snow caked onto the pine needles and whatever branches or leaves are left.
Mm-hmm. I personally
That's a good question. Why balance? Why balance? Calm down. Thank you. Try not to look like a ghost.
I think I'm gonna take the dodge action for now. Because I just kind of like readying my shield and my staff, but don't want to do anything provocative just yet.
Okay. Professor? Or I'm sorry, is that Bright?
I cast Mage Armor.
Okay. You don't have to roll a percentile die.
Okay,
So,
that's too bad.
if you want to steal one of Norlai's bones, I mean...
I've been trying, but she keeps saying she won't give me any.
I take that back.
Hell no.
I take that back. I'm casting Aura of Purity.
Oh, alright. Purifying energy radiates from you in an aura within 30 feet. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you. Each non-hostile creature in the area, including you, can't become diseased, has resistance to poison damage, and has advantage on saving throws against effects that cause blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed... Oh, wow. Wow, that's... Alright. No status effects. Gotcha.
Okay.
Alright, cool. You know,
Stay close.
flex on your DM. Cool. I get it.
Yeah. Oh, and also on my turn I yell, Norlai, look out, there's something in the trees above you.
Yeah, get back here.
Oh, yeah! A Yeti drops down.
It's a drop Yeti. They
A
have
drop,
those in Australia.
drop Yeti.
And if everybody's okay with it, we're gonna start going closer to Norlai. I want her to be affected by the Aura too.
I would prefer that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, drop Yetis only eat a particular type of pine tree that's not really nutrient rich, and they're just dumb as hell. So, now we go to the professor, who I don't know. You look up from the snowflake in your finger or something, and what? What are you doing?
Yes. Aura Purity. I don't have any, like, things that I could do to do anything like that. Oh, actually. Yeah. I am actually going to use a new spell. For Mordecai and Noroi and myself, I am going to
Norlai is
cast...
also 150 feet away.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's
Yep.
far.
And 20 feet up.
Alright, well then, I suppose some of this is redundant for Bright, but Bright can have this as well, I guess. I am going to cast... Intellect Fortress.
Intellect Fortress. You are or one willing creature you can see within range. Oh, alright.
Yep, when I cast this spell, I'll cast it because I have to, being Warlock.
Yeah.
I can target an additional creature for each slot above third. Because I cast it at 5th, I can target 3 creatures. Myself, Bright, Mordecai.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
So now all 3 of us have resistance to psychic damage and advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. You already had that, Bright, but...
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
not
right,
yet.
this is sort of redundant, I guess.
Yeah.
Mine
You
is
have double
versus
advantage.
status effects, so any saving throw versus status effects.
Now, how does this manifest on you and the others? Like, is this kind of like, can they all see the Matrix? Like, everything is made up of numbers and formula, so like they can like be ready, like their mind is braced because it's already attuned to the physical world, or how does this look to them?
What happens is, under each of the 3 of them, there is a small geometric glyph that climbs the body and clasps around the head. A little bit like like it slides up the body, from the ground up the body, and ends up clasping around the head like a little circlet.
Ah.
And as it does, I think a little bit like a heads-up display.
Oh, okay.
Like, as it clasped around, think of a little bit like a heads-up display that shows current, like, there's a bunch of very esoteric measurements, like attachment to the plane, for example, like plane synchronization percentage and stuff like that. There'll be three measurements, one representing each of the specific intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
All right.
You know, so there's probably like determination percentage and mental force percentage and plane synchronization rate.
Yeah, you pass by a tree, it says like chance to seduce 99%, and you walk past and then you stop and you look back at that tree. 99% chance to not be seduced. What's the 1%?
Exactly right. Well,
what's going on?
I mean, you'd have to roll a nat 1. I mean, you'd have to roll a nat 20. If it has disadvantage, you'd have to roll a nat 20 on 2 dice, which is a 1 in 400 chance. So
moving towards Norline, I think is the goal.
Yeah.
The 30
okay.
feet that I can move.
All right. So it cycles back up to my turn, and I'm gonna do a thing. Okay, I've done the thing that I needed it to do. And we come over to Norlai, who's 20 feet up in these snowy branches. A little scraped. You got some ice. I don't know, like a little bit of ice, like falls like in your ear, and like really. But what are you doing?
Do I see anything around me?
Pretty much all you see is branches and snowy trees and whatnot. From your vantage point, like you're out of line of sight to the party. Because you're up and you're concealed in the branches.
Speaking of which, Bright has true sight. Does she see it?
Not really, because I don't really have like full-time true sight. I have to use my scrying ball, so I probably am not gonna have true sight for just like casual looking around type stuff.
Ooh. Only for scrying. Got it.
But no obvious sounds were made. And you don't smell a smelly smell either, Norlai.
Let me just check something. Okay. I'm going to use my wild magic 20 feet to go back down to the ground.
Sure. You all see Norlai just remanifest. Not even really like a puff of snow, so it's not like she dropped down. She just sort of rematerializes.
I think I'm just going to dash back to the party.
Okay.
Okay. We're just gonna catch up with each other, I think. At least Mordecai is.
Yeah, so I'll get 60 feet
the
closer.
aura that he's...
All right. Mordecai, Bright, Professor. Looks like Norlai's running your way, or floating quickly your way. Maybe like leaving like a little like puff of snow as she's like gliding along.
What was that, Norlai?
I don't know. It smelled real bad though. And then it was gone.
We need to stick together. We're not splitting up again.
That sounds like plan.
We gotta find it somehow.
I don't know where it could be though. I'm just gonna keep the aura up as long as I can for the minute that it's
Okay.
that I can concentrate on it.
Oh yeah, you get 10 minutes out of it.
Oh, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yes, and my intellect fortress is an hour.
Also, ironically, you're missing an eye and blinded in your spell description.
Oh, that was. Blame the compendium.
Really? Oh.
Roll 20, what is it that you're doing?
Then I'll thank I'll thank that we're missing an I for blinded. Just because of all the letters to miss. That makes the best joke.
Blended.
Yeah, blended. I'm blended.
Blended.
Oh, you're immune from being blended. Ah.
Cool. You can't turn us into sashimi anymore.
Yeah, darn. Oh, there goes my cloud of daggers.
That is amusing.
But yeah, I'm keeping the aura up. I don't want us to get caught in a charm or paralyzed or stunned or anything.
Okay. Norlai, you feel really good within Mordecai's aura. I mean, you've come to this determination. It doesn't seem like any of you are pursuing this thing, so I mean, you can be together. And so Norlai, a little bit of that that kind of like that foulness you had in your mouth from sniffing that tree inadvertently it's gone. Within Mordecai just has an overwhelming aura or scent, or however this manifests. Mordecai, what clone are you wearing?
What clone?
Suddenly, this is like one of those Dr. Squatch commercials on YouTube, and just it's so fresh and powerful. All right, well, I promise in the immediacy I'm not going to chase you with this creature, especially with Mordecai being so fresh and so clean.
I mean, he is best boy. But yeah, I think we're
there you go, lethality. Glorious geometry.
Glorious geometry. That's exactly right.
So yeah,
I approve.
Still heading towards green shields.
We are.
We don't really have a way to detect the thing that came out and stink bomb the whole place. So.
All right. Yep. Trudging along. The 10 minutes ends. You're still walking. You're going to be walking for a little bit, not forever and ever. The sun is still in the sky for a little bit longer. The shadows have lengthened. However, we can get you to Green Shield, which is more of like a brownie orangey shield right now. Just because of the season.
I don't know. It seems like false advertising.
You are at the outskirts because you do have to pass by before you can go through the wall to the city proper. So yeah, lights are on in the houses. It's not quite what you see with the busted-in door and the one on the floor here. It's actually a little bit more wholesome and quaint. There are people in seasonally appropriate gear, and there's even some kids that are running around outside. Maybe they're running home. You hear like from a couple houses, like dinner, kids, from different families calling them in because it's getting dark and dinner's going to be done soon. Though they're holding from here, you can see that there's this scene, but they're holding something on like ropes or leather straps that's sort of floating behind them. And people are finishing up their work for the day, going home. There's people in the streets of this outskirt area, a little less densely populated. Continue to approach, view from afar. What would you like to do?
I'm kind of curious as to what the kid has attached to a rope.
Okay. So yeah, you want to approach?
Well, not really approach. I'm observing.
Oh, you just want to like kind of lean. All right, sure. Go ahead and roll a perception.
Not great at that anymore.
Oh, but that's a green
natural
number.
20.
All right. So Mordecai,
Still got it.
Yeah. You still got it. You got it. You squint your eyes and you're leaning forward. You know, the little bit of sun. You're still, you're kind of adjusting, and you have to do a double take, because is that like a cat?
Is it floating in the air?
Yeah. On a leash.
It's probably not a cat.
I mean, that's true. Cats don't traditionally fly, so it's probably not a cat. But your brain just bloop, clicks over, and cat? Question mark.
I think we should find some place to find out what's going on here, like a.
You can go to that inn that you sang at, and then left, and then I had a dance at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
could
can
do
do
that.
that.
Yeah. I think we could. I mean, I don't have to play for us to buy rooms, but
We have money.
we have money, but it might not be a bad idea to do it anyway.
Oh, that must feel so weird to say now.
It's been so long.
You're not used to it.
Yeah. Let's go to an inn or something and see if we can find anything out. Where people are is where you'll find information. So.
Okay. Proceeding ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we need to know what's going on before we can do anything else.
All right. So you're walking through the lightly populated outskirt area of Greenshield. Again, couple people still on their way in. People cutting wood for the night to cook or to just stay warm. You're passing by them. You get some friendly howdies. Not everyone is turning a cold shoulder. I mean, some people are just busy, or they'll pass by. Maybe they'll give you a nod. It's generally friendly. No one seems to be in a panic. And from one of the houses, you hear a child. Yell out, "Daddy, Daddy, it's floating away!" And from the door that's open, as apparently the father of this household was going in, there's one of these things that is starting to rise up and is floating up and away from the house, and the child is in the doorway pointing up and just like big sparkly tears in his eyes. And the dad looks up and is just, it's too far up.
I'm gonna use my wing boots to fly up and grab it.
Okay.
I'm also going to use Eyes of the Grave.
And can you remind me what that does?
That is, I detect undead for a turn.
Ah, all right. Well, good news for you. There are no undead.
Good.
I actually had to double check because I'm like, no, do any of you show up? No, that's clear.
Mm-hmm.
You should be clear of that now.
We fixed that problem.
No, even little
we went
little
to
things
hell
on the
to
radar.
fix that problem.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, I'm so used to it now. I mean, at least one of you is dead all the time. Come on.
I mean, to be fair, I was undead for about 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
So you fly up and grab this thing. It's very soft and squishy as you hold it. And are you flying back down then?
Yes.
Okay. Oh wow, thank you, ma'am. Says the kid as you hand
What
it
is
over.
that?
And he's reaching for it.
And I'm gonna give it to him.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't know what I would have done without my blemp.
Blimp.
It's a blimp.
And it's just kind of like wiggling like a fuzzy caterpillar in his arms. And the dad says, "Go inside." And he looks to you all. "Ma'am, thank you very much for getting my son's blemp."
All right, what is a blemp?
He looks at you confused. You speak with a little bit of the accent here from Mesomasca. You don't know what a blemp is? Oh, you've been away, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a performer. I've been touring.
Oh, really? Oh,
Chroma.
Have you been playing with the healing words?
No.
Oh.
We're Chroma Company.
He looks disappointed, then he feels ashamed that he's actually like showing like, oh, I was kind of like fanboying for a second, and then you're like, nah, I'm not with them, and he's trying to be a humble country host here. I'm sorry, you're who?
Chroma Company.
Chroma Company.
We're a small traveling band.
We also save the world on occasion.
Oh, well.
On the rare occasion, yes.
Yeah, you must have been out for, you must have been on tour for at least a year and a half.
More like
yeah.
Two.
Well, blemps are, something. They just started happening. I don't know if it's with the flowers or something, but maybe a cat got into some of those weird flowers that have been starting to grow around here. But we just saw these creatures. They weren't especially hostile, but they're like nothing we ever saw before. Domesticated enough, and I don't know. We just took to calling them blemps.
They're awfully cute.
I want one.
Of all the creatures that I've heard roaming the lands these days, I agree. I think we got lucky. If something was gonna be strange or lurking in the countryside, then I'd rather have a cloud or a blemps than of the other things I heard.
What else have you heard of?
He'll go down a list that might have very well been made up, but also probably not. I mean, just horrible things. You hear about things that are fusions of metal and flesh. You hear about things with many eyes and mouths. You hear about just all sorts of like unnatural combinations, like bears with the faces of owls. You just absolutely, against the god's will.
We've actually been wanting to look into that kind of thing.
We've been writing on existing as and or having seen all of those things.
Well, I mean, if y'all want to go hunting them, no one here's going to stop you. Though there's not as many around here than there's not as many around here than I've heard in other places. Not even just around Mesomasca. A lot of Mesomasca actually seems to be pretty well under control. I mean, the north is really where you got to worry, because that's where all those flowers are, and that's been doing a lot of strange stuff. We're sort of on the border there, and as much as we have a reputation for being, well, Green Shield, we're the people who supply wood and other things to the rest of the island. Well, we've been trying to cut them back as often as we're seeing them grow, just because they're causing a lot of problems.
The flowers.
The flowers, yeah. Strange things happen around them. Creatures that will sort of almost just emerge out of a flower patch. So you might find a flower here and there. Hey, you're welcome to pick it if you'd like. No one here is going to necessarily miss them. But also it can interfere with people who have the touch of magic. Have reported a lot of strange things happening if you're getting too close to them.
What about those fleshy creatures that you were talking about?
No, what about them? I can't say I've really seen one myself ever, but they were a little bit of a problem. Oh, geez, well, maybe about the same time the blemps came around. But a lot's been happening in the past 2 years, so I could honestly tell you a year and a half, or anything. There are things out in the woods, though, that...
Like a giant flesh tree.
Well, I can't say anything about a flesh tree, although I wouldn't put me past what could be possible. No. There's creatures lurking out in the woods that they don't seem hostile towards us. Here we've never been attacked by them, but it's certainly creepy. A lot of the woodsmen have seen things lurking around, see shadows darting here and there, some foul smells coming from some of the trees. It's caused a bit of a superstition, but it hasn't exactly had a lot of time to take hold, because this is a more recent thing. But it would seem that whatever those things are, as weird as they are doing what they can to keep away, presumably, those really weird things. However, that also does mean the blemps. They don't seem to like them. And so any of the blemps that we've seen are here in the village, because those things out in the woods don't come into our houses.
That's curious. You mean to tell me that a flesh tree that was in the forest 2 years ago is gone now? Or no one's gone into the woods there?
Well, now, honey, hang on. I'll be inside. Hold on. I'm saying hi to the folk that got our son's blimp before it escaped. Yeah? An exercise. Do you all want anything to eat?
That would be fantastic if we don't let them impose.
Would they be imposing? What do you mean I shouldn't ask that question? No, you ain't imposing. That's kind of what. Yeah, that's kind of what that is.
Then, if you don't mind, we'd like to catch up on what's happened here for the last 2 years.
Well, sure. I mean, talking over dinner is a time-honored tradition. Sounds like my wife can dish you up a side. Though he does look down to you, Bright. I don't know if we have. I don't know if our stew is exactly to your diet, as far as I believe that it is. I have a gnomish friend, or I did. So I want to try and do my best to cater to your specific diet.
Oh, that's okay. What happened to your friend?
Gone. Just disappeared. Up and vanished like a fart in the wind.
Speaking of people who've gone from town, what about the Stillwaters?
I heard of them. Don't really know much. They're one of the inner city people. More of the proper Green Shield folk.
But they still live here.
I don't know. Suppose you can always go find their house.
I might just do that.
Well,
after dinner.
Yeah, don't worry about the stew. If it's not right, I'll find something. Is there a side dish?
I think bread.
Okay, I'll just eat more bread. It'll be fine. I appreciate it.
All right, so you are invited inside this person's house, and for reward for saving their son's blimp, you'll get a nice meal and conversation with some of the quaint folk of the outskirts of Greenshield. I don't really have a house interior here, do I? Yeah, kind of I do. I have an old one. Don't associate the memories with it to anything else, but sure.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So yeah, you're inside. Bright. There are fresh rolls that are hot out of the hearth. You can have a side of honey butter if you wish.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And yeah, so the rest of you have a really good. I mean, it's nothing super special. There's no foreign spices. It's somewhat bland, but it's a hearty mix of root vegetables and also some mushrooms, because this is mushroom season around these here parts in the fall.
But it's Mesomascan food.
It is, yes.
And Mordecai is all about it.
This is Mesomascan country.
Inhale it.
Stick to your ribs, kind of country food here.
And he's also going to remember that he had digestion issues when it came to red meat before. That's probably going to come up.
There is some. It's not a lot, but because they need to be kind of thrifty on that. But yes, there is some beef in here. Oh, I can't find.
He remembers that. He remembers that shortly after starting to eat it.
That's fine. People who are lactose intolerant will still have ice cream. They're like, I'm gonna regret it later, but this is really yummy now.
Yeah. He's gonna regret it later, but you know what? It's fine.
Yep.
It's the first Mesomasca food he's had in like 2.5 years.
Yeah. Valid. And he remembers why he had a fish diet before.
All right. So, you're inside. You're eating a meal.
Yeah. So, is there enough water content in the stew for me to cast shape water on it?
Of all the questions I never would have thought I'd hear as a dungeon master, that is definitely one of them. Probably not the strangest, but still unexpected. I guess, yeah, to say that it's a thinner stew, just to help kind of float more ingredients to make it last a little bit longer. We can say it's just on the verge of stewdom, but not quite a soup. So sure, if you want to manipulate the water in your stew, then you can do so.
Okay, well I don't
make the stew dance.
I don't actually have any I mean, I don't have stew, but what I wanted to do was I was just gonna first let me make sure I can make my wizard's hat work. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to use shape water to form the stew into a blimp and levitate it up towards the ceiling.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So yeah, the house blimp, is absolutely fascinated and waddles through the air, like the fat cat inflated thing that it is. It just sort of like makes its way over to the animated stew up at the top, and
it just like dog paddles.
Yeah, and yeah, it's going to town on the floating stew. The kid is absolutely like, yeah, best thing ever, and
Mordecai's just giggling at Bright playing with the food.
I'm technically playing with everyone else's food.
A little bit of water just streams up from Mordecai's soup, and he looks over at Bright, and he's like,
Yeah.
typical.
Okay, that's all.
Because Bright is silly like that.
All right, so questions over dinner. You haven't been invited to stay like for the night, but you're invited to sit down and eat and share some talking before you got to get going.
Yeah,
that's okay. Definitely. We don't need to stay the night.
Mordecai's just interested to know what's been going on in Mesomasca as a whole recently, if they know.
Okay. Well, with the, take it as, take some things as rumor from, rural people in the countryside, the things that they hear from the big cities, which is really where most of the things are taking place. It sounds like the Shadowhar pretty well have claimed the western coast of Mesomasca. They have a big presence there. A lot of people are mixed, even in Green Shield, because it's actually been really good for the people of Green Shield, because the demand for labor and other timber and other construction workers and supplies has drastically increased, and they're already on this side of the mountains, so it's not like they have to cross over. And so the business has been good. However, all the strange things happening have been concerning. there seems to be some measure of protection that the Shadowhar are offering against opportunistic pirates that are sailing the inner seas. Because everyone's in turmoil, people are migrating, especially from Fallfire. So there's a lot of preying on people who are moving around. Might not already have a lot of defense or have been displaced. There are rumors of a ferocious like sea creature that also floats around the interior sea. And the way that it's described sounds absolutely horrible. And it is, because it's the Repentless. But the way that it's described makes it sound like a voracious beast that just descends down. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is. Yeah, so the Repentless is something of local legend, though it's being described more like one of these big aberrant things that just manifested, probably was pooped out of the Fallfire crater, like so many other things are presuming to be, making their way over here. As you were told before, the flowers have just been growing and growing further south from the north. And they've been reported in other places.
Nothing about, like, fleshy monsters, nothing local?
Well, I mean, you'll get a couple local legends that are probably still just legends. But there's the things in the woods. The things in the woods had come by. Actually, let me determine how much he might know about some of these particular... okay. In the one of the things I know you're going for here, I'll just sort of address it like you've asked it here. You know, I can't say that I ever heard something called a flesh tree, but there was the Forest of Faces. A lot of the local people were calling it trees that looked like they were talking and just all weird. A lot of people rumored to have disappeared around there. Just a lot of strange stuff happening. And
at the center of it, there was a fleshy mass that looked like a tree. I've been there.
I don't know. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was the Shadowhars, part of their deal to help keep Mesomasca safe. But at some point in time, because no one ever really went over there for obvious reasons, at some point in time, though, they must have got busy, because a couple people would have been out that way. Of course, we tell our kids not to do it, and of course they go straight over there and try. Some of them may not come back. But, I guess they just raised the place. And I mean raise, both in the fiery sense, but also, there's almost like a hill there now. Like, just straight up out of the earth itself. Just a hill. No trees, a lot of burnt grass and shrubs, stuff that ain't not grown back. But it's like a scar in the middle of the forest.
Huh. They didn't really say how they did it, did they?
No one exactly. Any of the Shadowhar people who come out here, whether they're for the military or just for private vacation or tourism or just merchant activity, no one's ever necessarily claimed that they're the ones who did it, but I don't know who else could have done such a thing.
Huh.
It's just someone came in, caused a ruckus, left, didn't claim any sort of prize or reward. We didn't even really know about it probably until time afterwards, till someone finally was brave enough to go out there. But as far as I know, there's no faces on trees. There's not even really trees in that area anymore. It's just a bunch of hill.
I suppose we can be thankful for small things.
Yeah. Well, I will. If that did the job, I'll take a mountain and a molehill alike.
Huh.
I think we're gonna want to go back there anyway, just the same.
Well, that's your call. I done warned you.
What about apothecaries? Potion makers.
Oh, what about them?
Has anyone mastered how to utilize the flowers from the north and put them into potions or things?
As far as I know, nuh-uh. Just with their odd properties, and apparently they're rather temperamental about being plucked or removed in some fashion. I don't know what...
Not even the flower fields.
I don't know. I think they're a family from the north, but I can't say I knows much about them.
Yeah, sometimes when you go to pick those flowers, they, like there'll be a whole big plant and it could eat you. It's a whole big thing.
You gotta be nice to them and put them in a pot immediately.
Yeah, they're pretty well considered a nuisance here. I don't know. People might have tried experimenting with them, but I mean, it's like making a soup sandwich. You pluck one, and it's not like it's going to last too long to do anything with.
Huh. Just curious.
The son comes over to you, Bright, and says, "Can you make a soup sandwich now?"
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but Dada said it.
Let me think.
I've not seen a soup sandwich.
Probably because it can't be done, kid.
Oh.
Of course it can be done.
Inside the sandwich.
I just have to figure out what it means. Then it can be done.
Well, it sounds like it's soup in between two slices of bread that you eat.
Well, I could probably do that. So here's the funny thing. I can only do tricks with water like that once a day. So I kind of used it up on the blemp stew. Or the stew blimp. I guess it would be the stew blimp, because blimp stew would be a whole other thing.
Oh,
yeah.
no!
No, not blimp stew. No, I would never do that. Word order is very important. Languages are hard. I can't do it now, but I could do it tomorrow. But I probably won't see you tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have an answer right now. But how about this? If I have time tomorrow, if I'm still in town, I'll come by and make you a soup sandwich. How about that?
Oh, that'd be great. See, Mom, my cousin was wrong. He keeps saying that gnomes are only good for... And the mom comes back and kind of hauls him out. Come on, we got to do dishes, son.
That was a...
So is that the plan, everyone? We're gonna investigate the new hill that's out there now?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting what's going on there.
Well, we had come back with the intention of destroying it, and we'll maybe find out what did it.
Yeah.
Investigating it.
If it's already destroyed, I guess that saves us a little bit of trouble.
At least here.
Are you excusing yourself from dinner, or is there any... I'll give you one more question or line of investigation that he might know about, if you'd like.
I don't have anything to ask.
I guess the only question I would have is if they know anything about the gnomes that disappeared. Anything that I don't already know, because I already know a lot.
Are people still disappearing, even after the trees have been destroyed?
Well, people come and go. I can't say there's been any notorious disappearances. We're not losing our kids. Young lovers still sneak out into the woods and they come back.
but no one goes out deep into the woods.
Well, not that I'm aware of, but I'm not a woodsman, despite me living here.
There hasn't been any sightings of a mysterious woodsman that, takes over cabins that are abandoned or, that sort of thing.
Now, there's a local legend, but I don't think that's manifested as others have come close to.
Okay. Because I remember something a lot like that a couple of years ago. Okay, that's all.
Because we're gonna go find some place to rest and then head out towards the mountain tomorrow.
Well, if y'all want, there's a Tumbled Wench in town. I'm sure they could use the business. Not exactly a lot of people come out here too often. I mean, we get a surge. People going mushroom hunting, out of towners and whatnot, but it's not like we're overrun right now, especially with the weather getting so severe. So I'm sure they're hurting for customers.
Then I'm sure they would find a colorful group as us as ourselves very entertaining.
I have no doubts.
And I'm going to thank him for the food, and we're going to leave.
All right. You leave the quaint cabin. Well, not really cabin, but you leave the quaint house here, and you proceed into the town.
Towards Tumbled Wench.
Boop, 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 boop. Here. This. Boop. You walk the rest of the way. All sorts of really yummy smells are coming out of different houses because everyone is cooking whatever their favorite fall foods are. And a lot of it is to keep the strength up, to harvest, to go out, to get the last bit of work in before winter hits, especially as early as it's hitting and as hard as it's hitting. So the whole area just smells of wood smoke and bread and stews and all kinds of things. There's a lot of underlying various sort of umami smells of mushrooms, since that's very popular. Although from the mushrooms that you do see hanging around, none of them look terribly suspicious or unrecognizable, which is a good thing. But you confirmed, at least in the more developed inner part of the city of Green Shield, that there were no suspicious mushrooms hanging around there. But even in the outskirts here, no. Everything seems to be fine. People are out pumping water. It smells like fresh, earthy water, mixed with the cold fall air. Just this changing of the seasons and the wind that's blown through. It's actually rather refreshing in a way. There's as you're walking through, there's a kid that has run out and is holding a couple pieces of burning straw in a bundle, and apparently it's lifting the top of a pumpkin and putting the straw in, and a weird kind of two eyes and a mouth with a really weird grin starts lighting up and flickering. And then the kid looks at you all passing by and goes, "Boo!" and runs back in the house.
I wonder if the Tumbled Wench will have pumpkin spice lattes.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah.
Is that a confectionery beverage?
Yes, it's really sweet, and it's mostly milk, and pumpkin spice, and it's like cinnamon and some other things, but it's really good.
This seems like some fabled beverage that only the elite nobles would drink. It's very...
Yeah, I wasn't exactly a noble growing up.
Hello. I was.
Thought you lived on the streets.
I did, but before that, I was a noble.
How long before that? You said a while back that you had been on the streets since you were 4 4 or 5.
Oh no, 7.
Oh, I thought it was way earlier than that.
No, that was 7.
You said something.
But my
happened to
mom
your
would
parents,
get.
right?
What was it?
You said something had happened to your parents.
Yeah, they got killed, and Loki grabbed me, and we ran out of the house, and then we hid, and then I never saw them. And then Mr. Halvard found us. Anyways, in Mask of Horns during the fall, they would always have pumpkin spice lattes, and my mom used to get them every fall, so I would acquire one every once in a while during the fall.
Through legitimate means, yes?
Of course, legitimate.
You're a bit of a sneak. I don't believe you.
Well, that's up to you.
Yeah, Mordecai's having flashbacks to accounting for those cookies that you had in your inventory for a little while there.
I swear, if someone wasn't actually looking after you, Noralai, that would be 100% of your diet. If someone didn't actually put a bowl of stew in front of you, you wouldn't eat it.
No, you would devour sweets until your teeth rot out of your head.
Look, sweets are good, and you don't get them that often. So when they're
Sweets
available,
are good in moderation because the sugar rots the enamel of your teeth. I should know. The dorm quarters next to me at my university had some surgeons who studied teeth.
well, I drink milk, so it's good for my teeth, so it counterbalances.
Yeah, that's why they serve milk and cookies together.
That is not how that works.
The man of science is deeply offended by this.
Are you telling me that, Professor, that old wives' tales are nothing but fantasy?
Yes. Yes, I am telling you that.
I mean, I'm a man of mechanics, not biology, so...
Look,
I wouldn't know such things.
it's also an unbalanced diet. Your body needs many more things to run. Like protein from meat. And
Yeah, well, meat's
carbohydrates.
expensive.
Yeah, it tends
There's-
At least that's what the notes
There's
called them.
cookies.
The Gnomish one. Carbohydrates. Apparently they appear in like bread and grain.
Well, bread and grain and some cookies.
Yeah, beef tends to disagree with me.
Yeah, fish is really good. I prefer fish.
Damn, now I want some fried fish.
You're not gonna have to get to the biggest city.
You reach the gates here. It is the sun has set, so there is a not a super strong one. There's a guard contingent outside, dressed in green shield regalia. Maybe a panging memory of the regalia you've seen other people from Green Shield in. But they stop you. State your business here, and also they ask if you have any blemps on you.
No.
Good. All right.
Are they forbidden across the
They're
across
not
the wall?
forbidden. They're a nuisance. We would just need to make sure that yours are properly taken care of.
Of course.
But yes, no blimps.
No blimps, and we're
No
here
blimps
for-
yet.
We're here for lodging.
Oh, very good. They don't pat you down, but they give you a cursory look over. I mean, given the
look
state
like
of
an
things, it's
adventuring
not like
party.
carrying a sword on your hip is illegal or anything, or, there's a lot of people with axes and other implements. And I don't think any of you are really heavily armored either.
Half plate.
I would be, Mordecai and I would be the most heavily armored in half plate.
My dress is made of very thick cotton.
Does the AC go up with the thread count? You got like 300, 500, 800 count, and
Yeah.
each one adds like a 1/8 of an AC. So they're looking at you, Bright. I mean, actually, they make the commentary of, it's good to see a gnome again. It's been a little while. That being said, ma'am, you're as safe can be in Green Shield. There hasn't exactly been many gnomes to disappear, but we'd prefer if you don't become the first since the last, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't plan on doing any disappearing. In fact, I'm hoping I can bring some of those other gnomes back. We'll see. But thank you for the warning.
If you can, I have memories years ago of going to the local gnome restaurant. Oh, it
was pretty good.
They made a banana baba ganoush that you wouldn't believe.
It does sound like a gnomish word. It's not, but okay. I appreciate the thought, though.
I believe it's pronounced baba ganoush.
Norlai, one of the guards asks to pull you aside because he has a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're staying within light of the gates and everything, but just, you all right, ma'am? You're not traveling under duress, are you?
No, these guys are weird, but I'm with them.
If you need help, tap your foot twice. And he looks down at your foot.
I'm wondering if she'll fly away.
Okay.
If she did, she'd fly away.
Click your heels twice.
I wanted to run. You guys couldn't catch me.
And you're walked back to the rest of the group, and the guard's trying to play it cool, like, oh, you know what? I haven't seen horns like that. I thought that was fascinating. Thank you, though, for letting me know about what's going on. I know the air might be kind of dry. You got some static sparks, though, on you.
Yeah, that just happens.
We're an adventuring party. Weird things happen every day.
Then they're gonna look at you, Mordecai. Well, you're definitely dressed for business, but I wouldn't suspect. You look like are you a holy pilgrim of some sort?
I recently started my pilgrimage, I suppose.
Oh. Where is it you're coming from?
Well, I was a performer for a little while. It's a long story.
You're a man of faith, though?
Yes.
Well...
I think I am.
You sound unsure.
It's new to me.
Gotcha. Well, there's, if you need to find yourself, Green Shield, of course, has a shrine to Ouijas here, but it's never really been a mainstay, as there's been other forces that our people appreciate a little bit more. Though I'll tell you, with all of the Shadowhar people coming through, there's been an addition. Like, there's the traditional small shrine to Ouijas, but they sort of built onto it. I don't know if you're a lot of you and others have been converts, or maybe you've been I don't know if it's the right word because of the nature of Ouijas, but sort of born again into the faith, as it seems like the Shadowhar practice a different variety. Seems to be stoking some people and rekindling their spirits. But if you wanted to stop by and explore your faith at either the old shrine or the new temple built by it, then I'm sure you could do so. But I'll tell you, traipsing through town like that, you're going to draw a lot of eyes. I understand if you're on the road, but from one person to another, from a local to a visitor, watch out, because if trouble happens, a lot more eyes are going to fall on you for walking around like that.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm not unused to people gawking.
Oh, well, I mean, you are colorful, even for a tiefling. I'll give you that. Certainly looks like you've been around Mesotopia once or twice.
Once or twice. Maybe some other places.
Oh.
Maybe literal hell. Who knows?
Well, hey, you know what? I mean, if you're looking to find your faith or to go even spread it or return, they're looking for people to join something called Operation Welcome Mat. You can always sign up for that. They'll send you to Shadowhar, or close enough, to actually send an envoy from us to them. Maybe that's something you could do.
Yeah, it's worth looking into. Thanks for the information, friend.
Yeah, of course. Enjoy your time here, but remember, we don't want no trouble.
I won't start trouble.
And for you, sir, well, you're, what are you doing, dressed like that? You're not a holy man.
You'd see that Cypher takes off his helmet. No, good sir, I am a man of science.
Science, huh?
We make very good counterpoints.
What kind of science are you into studying? He's trying to sound conversational, but this is probably over his head.
Well, mixture of different things. Actually, you might know me. I am known as Professor Cypher, and I'm foremost Shadowhar historian.
Nope, can't say I heard you.
Basically, as far as some of the books on Shadowhar history that we have here in Mesotopia, I was the one who wrote them.
Well, wait, your accent doesn't make you Shadowhar, but you know about them?
I come from Bullfire.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I've studied the crater for a very long time. I figured something like this would happen eventually.
Oh, why didn't you tell no one?
Being able to stop it. Oh, I did. It's just a matter of saying anything doesn't really do anything if you have no way to stop it. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this entire campaign. Now let's get back into it.
Wow, it hit the nail on the head.
In the truest of fashions.
Matty Mortgage presents Told You So. I mean, he's entertaining you, but I mean, science is above his pay grade. But he's testing you as to why you're wearing armor as a man of science.
I've also become a little bit of doing a little bit of research and development of late. Have you heard of that creature that guards the crater? I believe they call it the Sky Shatter Leviathan.
Yeah, if it's the big thing. I can't say
yes.
I've heard it called that, but yeah, there's a big flying thing. There's actually two.
Two?
Yeah, there's one that stays by the crater. There's this other one that just sort of goes around the sea.
Yes.
I've heard of both. As well.
My current scientific endeavors is to figure out a way to get rid of the creatures.
Oh, well, I hope you can. In fact, as you're saying that, someone comes, a couple more guards come walking up, and he's like, "Oh, well, hold on, looks like it's about time to shift. Hold on a moment." And he goes over and is talking, and comes back. You know, the oddest thing, you were just talking about that. My replacement says it seems like one of them was seen spotted over the forest, not too far away, actually. Well, if you're a man of science,
really?
you should be. Yeah, you might want to go out there and do something about it. I hope it doesn't stick around. I've heard terrible things. It gobbles up anything it wants.
So we've heard.
Yes, so we've heard.
Right, well.
Suppose that thing's part of our pilgrimage, too.
Thumb is hoisted over his shoulder. You're allowed in with the customary "we don't want no trouble." You're given you're given a list of, well, a couple local restaurants, couple local inns. Tumbled Wench in particular is over here, and you're allowed inside. The gates close behind you, as per tradition, and you all are inside Green Shield. You're going to make your way to the Tumbled Wench, I presume?
Yes.
Boy, there are some times when it's just so hard to say nothing.
Yeah.
I just felt like I had to. It was so hard. Okay, I just need to say, we've seen that too, we've seen that also, and we have good news. It's not after you. Okay, that's all.
Or are you screaming that back at the guards?
No, now that we're out of your shot.
Oh, okay. Now it's all right. Poor Bright's probably walking in the street looking like she's got to like pee or something, like, and then just.
We can't exactly tell them that we're with the repentless.
I mean, we could.
That
It
would
just
go
wouldn't
over
be a good idea.
Yeah, that would go over quite well, he says with sarcasm.
And what we'll do is, with you entering, there is music playing, there is a crowd, the smell of food and various drinks being poured are present. A lot of the crowd looks like a lot of locals are sitting in one area dining. It does actually look like there's a table that has 6 Shadowheart from their dress. 6 residents, citizens, maybe military, but they don't look like they're necessarily in military uniforms. But there is a table of 6 Shadowheart people. And we'll stop the scene here so we can take a break. So we'll come back in about 15 minutes, everyone. So for all of you out there, you use the restroom, grab a snack or drink, cool off a little bit, and we will pick back up in the inn, see where this goes, as it sounds like they're going to be... I'm predicting they're resting and going out to look at the hill, but what do I know? I'm not them. I will see you all very soon.